All right, all right, all right. Guess what time it is? Guess what day it is? It's Thursday, and it's about to be all about you time. My name is Sharon Hill Withers, and I'm with a wonderful life coaching company called It's All About You. I named this company It's All About You because I realized that my life, my joy, my happiness, things that I need come from me. Not the outside of me, but the inside of me. If I want love, I can love me. If I want attention, I can pay attention to me. If I am seeking camaraderie, unity, I can be one with myself. And once I did that, I started to attract people in my life. I started to attract people who genuinely love me. I started to attract people who genuinely wanted to be in my space. And I started to attract people who absolutely wanted to be my friend. So with tonight, we're going to be talking about, where do insecurities come from? Where and how do we make decisions in our lives that foster and support these insecurities? And then I want to just share some tidbits with you of how I was able to overcome some of my insecurities. First of all, I want you to know that insecurities can come from many different places. So as you know, I'm going to give you some tidbits. So make sure you number your paper as we're going through the different ways that insecurities can happen. So number one, some of us had a very difficult childhood, and we had things happen in our childhood that made us feel less than, that made us feel we're not worthy, that made us feel that it's just not, that we don't fit, we don't belong, we are not a part of the in crowd. And those can create some insecurities when you're growing up in that type of childhood. Some other things that can cause insecurities are past traumas, things that have happened to us as human beings. You have some individuals who were fine until they were molested by sometimes a family member. You have individuals that were okay and just fine, but they were raped or they were abused, and they have some of these traumas that happen to them. There is some things that happen, maybe death of a loved one that was close to them that they weren't able to deal with, that died tragically, such as being murdered or someone killing them. Also, you can have some insecurities that come from, recent experiences of failure. And, once you keep failing and you keep failing and you keep failing, whether it's failing in relationships, whether it's failing at jobs, or whether it's failing attempted business opportunities, or whether it's failing relationships as a whole, whether it's your mom, dad, sister, brother, you just don't have a good success rate when it comes to things in your life. Once those things keep happening over and over and over, you start to actually believe that you are a failure. You also can have insecurities with rejection. When you've been rejected by people for different reasons, you start to feel like you don't matter. Like it's not something that you're not acceptable. You're not a part of what I call the normal box. So you can have some insecurities coming from there as well. Loneliness can give you insecurities. I'll be honest with you. if you're lonely for a long period of time, or you've been lonely growing up, or being a loner, where you be by yourself and you see other people enjoying social groups and having fun, but you're off to the side, you're by yourself, and it appears that no one even notices. So that can also create some insecurities. There could be some social anxieties, where if you've tried to be in a group, or when growing up, or even now as you are an adult, and you've been rejected from that group, then sometimes you get insecurities because you just feel like, I don't know if I have what it takes to have a group of friends, or be in a team of people, because you haven't had a good result doing that. And it's called social anxiety. Negative beliefs about yourself can also cause insecurities and make you feel like you're less than. And I'll be honest with you, our own perception becomes our reality. Whatever you believe is what your reality is. So just know that. Your insecurities can come from that too. Also, did you know insecurities can come from being a perfectionist? Because very rarely are things perfect, but if you have to have it perfect and it never turns out perfect, you develop insecurities. It's almost like your perfectionism gives you the sense of you're not capable of being successful because you want it perfect. So it can come from wanting to be a perfectionist. Having critical people all of your life, whether it was your mom, your dad, or your brothers or your sisters, or if you had people that were mean to you in school and bullied you and were very critical. Children sometimes just do not have any filter. They say whatever's on their mind, and they don't realize, even at that young age, that they're hurting people. They're just trying to get laughs and be accepted themselves. So all of these types of things can create insecurities in you. And when you feel insecure, then it's very hard for you to have initiative or to feel confident within yourself. So let's talk about some of these insecurities that we have just covered and that we're going over, because bottom line is, I have a secret to share with you. Everything is between our two ears. What we think of ourselves is what we believe. Now, if that's the core foundation, regardless of all of the insecurities that you've had to deal with in your childhood, your past traumas, your past failures, all the rejection that you've received, the feeling of loneliness, the social anxiety that you may have, the negative thoughts about yourself, being a perfectionist, if you're a perfectionist and never having anything work out or be perfect, and having critical people in your life, if all those things have happened and you chose to believe that that was your reality, see, that's the key. Things happen, but what you believe about what happens in relationship to you is what you and I can work on tonight. So here's some things that I did to help with my insecurities, and I hope that it helps somebody, because truly a lot has happened in my life, and everybody has a story. Okay, believe me. There's not anyone on this earth today that doesn't have a story. And what I mean by that, there are things that have happened in their lives too. But what I learned through getting some education and through going through life coaching school and being around people who I admired and who were living a life that I desired to live, I learned that insecurities are false evidence appearing real. It's not true. So my belief system at one point was, I'm too fat. My belief system at one point was, I'm too tall. My belief system at one point was, I'm light-skinned and nobody likes me. My own people who were dark-skinned picked on me, and Caucasian individuals also picked on me. So I was kind of caught in the middle because I was lighter than my people, and I also was a little darker but still light and considered black to the other races. So I was caught in between. So that contributed to some of my insecurities. I also felt insecure because I was actually intelligent. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but being a nerd wasn't as cool as it is now. And I remember thinking maybe I should just be dumb or try to get lower grades so I don't get picked on. I just remember so many things happening in my life that caused me to have a negative feeling about who I am. And once I decided to choose to have a different thought, then I pretended as if those thoughts were true until I believed them. I had to get up in the morning and look in the mirror and say, Sharon, you are the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life. Being tall is an advantage. And if you're short, you can say being short is an advantage. And if you're fat, you can say being fat is an advantage. And if you're skinny, you can say being skinny is an advantage. Because no matter what, or what size, or what height, or what color you are, it's an advantage. And you have to realize that it's an advantage. And so I kept saying to myself, you're beautiful and you're loving and people want to be on your space. And until I kept saying it and changed some habits. So when you think, that you're not loving, I would show more love. When I think that I'm too tall, I would start to seek out people that were taller than me. And I realized I'm only tall to people that's shorter than me, but I'm not tall to people that are taller than me. So it's all about changing your perspective in life. If you are not as smart as you would like to be, it doesn't mean you're not smart. So let's be clear. But again, this thing called our own perception, becomes our reality. We are doing brilliant things every day. We are getting up. We're getting kids ready for school if you have children. We're organizing our day. We're getting to our jobs on time. We're giving a good day's work for a good day's pay. We're paying our bills. We're creating a lifestyle. We have a vehicle for some of us. And for those that don't, we know how to get on the bus or take a cab or Uber. But there is a certain amount of intelligence that it takes to even operate in the world. But sometimes, if we feel like because we don't have the things everybody else may have, and again, this is a thought process. It's not true. It's just a thought. Then we have to start convincing ourselves that we are smart, that we are intelligent, that we're getting things done. We go to the grocery store and we buy food. We pay our bills. We are able to go outside and wash a car. When I think of not being intelligent, I'm thinking totally blind, totally mute, and still not having the functionality of your brain to do anything. So basically being a zombie. And we know we're not zombies, okay? So it's just, again, the thinking, the thought process that you're having about yourself is key. And one of the other things that I did was I would start to challenge myself. If I read a book and I used to stumble over my words and not pronounce the words like I wanted to, and it didn't just flow, guess what I started doing? I started practicing reading a book, and I started enunciating my words so that I could be clear. I started to read for comprehension, because sometimes I read things that just didn't make sense to me, and I'm like, Lord, I don't understand. So I started to just practice those things that I felt inferior about. I would just practice on learning more about that so that I can feel confident in those areas. It is so cool to realize that your creator could have made you a snake, a rat, or a roach, but he didn't. He made you a human being. And the brain that's inside of your head is this massive computer that even we as human beings have tried to recreate and still can't. But until you believe that you can learn, no matter what age you are. I just got a master's at 50. Okay, we're talking still have children, still working full time, still in organizations outside of work, still going to church, still being a part of my community, and got a master's at 50? Trust me, I didn't believe that I could do that, but I wanted to accomplish that goal, and I took a chance that I would be able to pull and source to me everything I needed to get that done because I'm a human being. I'm not a rabbit, a dog, a cat. I have a brain. I can create. So even though we have these insecurities that maybe we're not wanted or we're not attractive, I want to tell you tonight, that's a lie. It's a lie. Don't believe yourself. Matter of fact, when the thought comes in your head, say, that's a lie. I am perfect even in my imperfectness. That's a new I am statement for you. I am perfect even in my imperfectness. I was made by the Creator of the Most High in His image, and I cannot fail. I will not fail. I will keep trying until I succeed. Can you imagine where we would be today if Edison stopped? If he stopped trying to create light, where would we be today? We would probably still be in the Stone Age. So when you fail, you didn't fail. You just found another way that it doesn't work, which is still knowledge. But just keep trying. Just keep trying to get better. Keep trying to improve yourself. Keep learning. Keep growing. These things create confidence within yourself. Be around people who acknowledge you, people who actually respect you as a human being, people who are understanding that being positive creates positive energy and replications of other things that are positive, and being negative also attracts other negativity. So when we're insecure, it's okay. Just know that you don't have to stay insecure. It's just a belief system. All you have to do is change it, because you're perfect just the way you are. You're handsome. You're beautiful. You're loving. You are absolutely a perfect human being. And we may have flaws as perfect human beings, but it doesn't mean just because we don't fit in what I call the box. And I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't fit in the box since I was born. There is nothing that I can say that, oh, I fit in there and I fit in here and I fit in. I was always outside the box. And to me, the box was created by man to create robots and thinking so that they can control you. That's just the way I think about it. Doesn't mean it's true, but that's my belief system. So when I don't fit in the box, it's okay, because I am just different, and different is good. So I just wanted to share that with you tonight. Go ahead and change your conversation about yourself. You can have confidence if you choose to, but you got to choose to know who you are and whose you are. Thank you so much for tuning in to It's All About You tonight. I hope you listen to this video over and over and over again, because you are special. You are wonderful. You absolutely have everything it takes to do everything you want to do. And if you don't have, you can get it. So just know that a perfect human being is not that you have to be perfect. You were already made perfect. You just have imperfections, because we all do. And that's what makes us special. I want you to have a good night tonight. Thank you for tuning in Thursday nights at 8 o'clock for It's All About You. I hope some of you hit me up on the inbox and just let me know how these videos are impacting your life. And if there's anything that I've shared with you, I would love to have some of you come on my show and actually give testimony as to how the knowledge every Thursday night has helped you in your life. So have a great night. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.